Hello, happy Saturday to you all. Come in, hit that like and share button. I want you to like it and share this video simultaneously at the same time. I hope you all having a great day. As many people that's been following me know, this is my birthday weekend, right? My birthday is 9/26. This is also Rosh Hashanah weekend. It began on 24th through 27th. And the Shemitah, this is also my echo. The Shemitah actually on 9/26 on my birthday is scheduled to happen this year. And I will be on 9/26 the double 44. So a lot of dual meaning in that and understanding what the Shemitah year um, of 2022, what that mean, biblically, how that's in alignment, right? How that also ties into people. Now, again, the this is the year, right? That during the Shemitah year, it's a cycle. The economy goes and it operates in cycles, right? Uh, it's the end years of 7 cycles. So it's actually the ending of the Shemitah. The Shemitah began on September the 7th, which is actually 7/7, the double 7/7. Last year, it began September the 7th. SEPT means seven, Septor or seven, right? And that began last year on the 7th. It ends on the 26th of this year. 6 plus 2 is 8. But 9, if you know, you follow me, the Bible, many people have been taught the Gregorian calendar, right? The Gregorian calendar, and have not been taught the Jewish Hebrew calendar, and therefore they don't understand the time schedule, right? For example, they'll be saying in the month of August is new beginning, but it's not new beginning in August. Is well, the Hebrew calendar. Let's say it that way. The Hebrew August is not new beginnings. It's October, right? That's why you see the 8 testicles on the octopus. The number 8 is October, right? As in octopus or octagon. So when a lot of religious institutions are proclaiming things according to the Bible and the Bible meanings of letters and numbers, they are inaccurate because they don't know the Hebrew calendar, and God works in the Hebrew calendar. Also, this ties into Jewish prophecy, right? It's not just a prediction, but it's a pattern of events um, that will give you an illuminating forecast of the future. It will give you a replay of the future, right? So these are prophetic patterns throughout the Bible that when you understand numbers, numerology, once you understand the Hebrew calendar and Jewish prophecy, right? Because the Bible is Old Testament, New Testament, which represents Hebrew and Greek, right? Then you can plan properly, and this is what this live stream is all about. So Shemitah ends on my birthday as I'm the double 44 on Monday in the Hebrew calendar, and it's a cycles that always come and that are relate to the economy. Shemitah is a biblically ordained sabbatical that happens every 7 years, right? It's biblically ordained. Now, who ordained it biblically? Well, the writers of the Bibles, right? Those who translated the Bibles, those who put what they wanted to include in the Bible. It's written in code, and the translators of the Bible are not always righteous people, right? Many people say Bible prophecy is coming to pass. Bible prophecy is coming to pass. They don't know who even wrote the Bible after they got it from ancient Egyptians and translated to their liking and to their fitting. But I can tell you this: the Bible is decoded years and years ago thousands upon hundreds of thousands of years ago, right? And so once you can understand this can help position you for your future. Hello, it's just I don't know what's going on. I think I have to put something on Facebook that says that it allows me to live stream. And because for some reason on my StreamYard, it does not show the names anymore of the people that's saying hello. Unless I go to my Facebook page, it just says, Facebook user. So that may be something I have to do in order to see the names again, like I was able to at one point. But hello to you. It just says Facebook user. Thank you for coming in and dropping a comment. We had a Phoenix 33. Slick Rick. I love that. Slick Rick, hello. Um, Hello, Ohio here. Silver is great. I'm so glad you're saying silver is great. Deborah, Howard, happy Saturday. Happy Sabbath to you as well. Happy Saturday, which also sounds like Saturn, which I won't get into that. But happy Saturday Sabbath to you as well. So Shemitah is a biblically ordained sabbatical that occurs every 7 years. So if you read the Bible, especially knowing Joshua, who's the Old Testament Jesus, right? Both were sold for silver, since we're speaking about silver. Both were sold for silver. Joshua into slavery and Jesus into the hands of Pilate by his treasurer, right? Um, and so, with that being Judas, right? Judas. So, with that being said, sabbatical happens every 7 years during this time. It lets farmers know, let the land, that the land for those who loan money to forgive debts. Um, God said, or the Bible translates that this land, right, will not produce any crops, no crops during that time that people are to store up and to prepare. And so it produced a food famine, right? These are all things that happen sabbatically, biblically in the Bible. And this Shemitah different is different because it aligns with the Jubilee, right? The Jubilee. Now let's get on silver since one of my you all have already, or one of you all have already talked about silver. I had someone, and I stopped texting this person, right? I just stopped the conversation. That they were texting me yesterday, and they were asking different questions about becoming a wealth ambassador for the silver um, offer that I offer people to get real assets for the reset, right? And I have a clip that I'm going to share with you all that's going to show you or explain a little bit more detail on why silver, why now, and why especially during the Queen Elizabeth's death, why silver is more important, especially printed portrait of her portraits on any type of real money right now. Silver is real money, it's God's money. It's an important investment now more than ever. And I had someone to ask me this question, and I just stopped the conversation from there. I'm like, you know what? I don't have time to play games with people. Either you are making progressive actions to better your future going into this, because we will, after September, have 3 months left, approximately 90 days in 2022. So either you are progressively taking action, or either you are seriously serious about this, not seriously, but you're serious about this, or you're not going to waste my time. See, time is the most valuable asset and commodity that I have. You're not going to waste my time back and forth with questions, especially about $169 investment, right? But this person got to the point where they asked me a question. For example, will the shipment of the silver be discreet? Will it be discreet? Uh, Let me say this: no one has that's in this opportunity, right? And I call it an opportunity, not just going to JD Bullion or SD Bullion and purchasing silver and gold. This is an opportunity that will give you both silver and gold and residual income opportunity, which means you're going to get God's money, which is silver and gold, and you're going to get government's money simultaneously at the same time. So the first thing was, will the shipment be discreet? People, no company that I know from SD Bullion to is it JD Bullion? I know it's SD Bullion or JM. or any silver company just ship packages to wherever you reside and just put all over that this is real money in this package, right? Silver has been shipped all across the U.S., the United States, and across the other countries, and nowhere has many people complain about their money being stolen, and it's no different with this offer. That the person went on to say they purchased something from Pandora one time that was stolen. Now, if you are that concerned about having your silver shipped to wherever you reside, or you live amongst neighbors or thieves or people that you feel like will go through your mail, right? Let me tell you this. First of all, once you purchase a certain type of silver, you have to sign for it and pick it up from the USPS. Once you really get into stacking silver and stacking that quality silver, it won't just be dropped in your mailbox or your doorstep, right? So you will have to sign for it from the U.S. Postal Service, USPS. Second of all, if you're that concerned about it, create you a P.O. box and just have all of your silver shipped there. That way you'll have the key, you'll have the access, and that's the way you can be discreet. But people, you can make money, you can invest in these assets, right? But you can't make excuses. You can make money, you can get assets, you can prepare for this great reset, but you can't make excuses. And that's one of the things that Matthew 25 brought out in the Bible, that um, God gave, or the master gave, or their Lord, whoever your Lord or your master, whoever distributes money to you, whoever decide your pay raise, right? Whoever decide what your pay scale would be. Matthew 25 in the Bible breaks it down. He gave each worker talent, money, gold, according to their own ability. 1 5, 1 2, and 1 1. Now, it does not go on to give you detail of how the people that had more money multiplied their money. All it said is the one that had the most money at once. It told you immediately they went and put that money to work. People that are money makers are immediate action takers. People that take long to make decisions usually will miss out on opportunities. That's the acronym for poor: passing over opportunities repeatedly. The Bible does not get into detail and tell you how this money will multiply. It just said it went at once. And if you are concerned about the security of having silver shipped in the comfort of your own house or apartment or condo or townhouse, then just get a P.O. box. And Deborah, you are so correct. It is shipped very discreet. Anyway, anyone who's ever invested in silver knows this. And it's packaged. Thank you, Deborah. Now, I love it when I have people to support that are actually hands on and knowing what they're doing, right? And several orders. Thank you, Deborah. So guess what, Queen? Shut up. You got the testimony right there from a hands-on customer, a person that's actively active. But it always amazes me, Deborah, how some people will convince themselves out of opportunity to get wealthy, but they never will talk themselves out of spending money that does not bring them a ROI, return on investment. They will never talk themselves, in most cases, people that live paycheck to paycheck, out of spending money on a pair of shoes that they can't afford, or a nice luxury purse that's over expensive, right? They won't talk themselves out of not taking that vacation that they know they can't afford and they shouldn't take at that time. And then they come back home and wonder how long it's going to take them to work off that, or to get the money to pay the vacation that they took 6, 7 months ago, or even sometimes last year. They won't talk themselves out of getting that Gucci bag that they cannot afford. For example, if you get paid $20 an hour and that Gucci bag you just bought is $3,000, you're not only out of $3,000, but also you just gave away 150 hours of your life. And this is why I put a price on my time. And I tell people to put a price on their time as well. I'm not going back and forth on the phone with people answering these questions about silver. Is it discreet? Come on. Of course it is. We have over thousands of people in our private Facebook group that has no problem with their silver being stolen, being hacked, or not being delivered. So put a price on your time because it is your most valuable asset. But just know silver right now is the most undervalued commodity that you can invest in, right? Your time is your most valuable asset. Silver is the most undervalued commodity that you can invest in. So let's talk about what's going on right now. I talked about the Shemitah. Some bad things are happening overseas right now. I was listening to another YouTuber talk about this, and I want to share a small clip. But before I do that, I'm going to stay on the topic of silver and what Queen Elizabeth type silver, the effect and the impact that it's going to have, as you can get in silver right now for very inexpensive, and to give you, according to Andy Sketman, I'm probably butchering his last name, a silver expert, about what's about to happen to both gold and silver. So let's share a clip of this. I don't like to share clips over 3 minutes because of people have short attention span. But this is a 13-minute video in its entirety. And I do encourage you to go and watch the full video, as I will not I'll share all of it, but I will share this part, right?
Why is the biggest money in the world draining the exchanges of metal? Why are they going long? Why are they taking possession? Why are they removing counterparty risk? It's because that's how you win. You win by buying low and selling high. You know, it's the euro and
First of all, y'all, commercial break. He said, this is how you win. You win by buying low and selling high. I'm about starting October the 1st. I'm going to start a 90-day run, right? Because some people for 2022, you're going to have approximately 90 days starting October the 1st to get your cash flow up, to get your credit score up, to take advantage of 470 plus tax deductions. And most people do not know how to invest, especially when it comes to investing in digital assets such as the stock market and cryptocurrency. They want to get on bandwagon with crypto when it's in the green, when it's been talked about, when it's pumping, pumping, pumping. But when it's blood in the streets and when it's boring, that's the time to invest in crypto and the stock market likewise. See, this is financial education that has to be taught if people working paycheck to paycheck or people that are middle class are expecting to become rich, are expecting, if they're expecting to become rich and wealthy. Now you may be saying, well, Queen, why, what if I don't want to become rich and wealthy? Well, that's you. That's your decision. I'm not talking to you. Thank you for tuning in. But this is not for you. My channel is not for you. My message is not for you. Because the Bible says, I will make you rich and add no sorrow. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 28 that I give you the power to get wealth. So why would I neglect my birthrights? Why would I not want to be rich and wealthy when those are the promises of the Bible? So why would I be comfortable not meeting that standard or quality of living? If you're comfortable with that, that's your decision, but it's not going to be mine. So again, just want to pause for the cause and teach. You get richer and wealthier when it's blood in the streets, when it's boring, you buy low and then you sell high, and then you have tax deductions. The more tax deductions you have, the more money that you're making for every tax deduction. And by texting cash flow to the number on the screen, you can get up to 470. For every tax deduction that you find, that you legally, morally, and ethically implement, you are writing a passive income paycheck back to yourself, right? So let's play the video. Let's go.
The dollars that are sanctioning Russia, and yet 85% of the world is still trading with Russia. And I think both currencies, whether it be the pound, the euro, or the dollar, all three currencies are involved in these sanctions. You know, if I were the rest of the world, I would be leery to trust any of the three, in the respect that, you know, we're the ones sanctioning them. We're the ones that they view as being hypocritical. And I think that the sanctioning of countries like Russia has had unintended consequences. So the rest of the world is coalescing against this type of behavior. So just to add to that point, I do agree with you very much. As far as silver is concerned, you know, what's happening right now on the exchanges is really kind of crazy. We've seen somewhere in the neighborhood of over 1,400 tons that have been taken off of the COMEX market.
Okay, let me pause for the cause again. Over 1,400 tons of silver has been taken out of the COMEX market. I made a post that the U.S. Mint is beginning to inform dealers that they're out of silver. So dealers are people that you can purchase from, or saying, I don't have any silver to sell. This was based on a Robert Kiyosaki tweet as well, that his silver dealer said he can't get it from the U.S. Mint, so he can't sell it to Robert. And someone put, oh, they're just trying to trick you into buying silver. Well, you know what? Sometimes people need to be tricked into investing, because they don't have financial education and they don't understand how investing and making monetary moves while the market is low can give them a future, very futuristic, better quality of life. Sometimes a brainwashing is not bad as long as you're getting a good brainwashing. Sometimes being tricked into investing in silver, you shouldn't have to be tricked into investing in silver. If you really know that this is the most undervalued commodity in the world, the most undervalued asset in the world, you can Google that. Why? Because it's still inexpensive, of under $30 an ounce, right? So
market in terms of silver. Silver is just disappearing off the COMEX in a rapid fashion. The open interest right now is 1,500% greater than the registered category. So you have a massive rehypothecation in what silver stocks are available to be delivered on the COMEX. We're seeing metal being bled off the London Metals Exchange at a record pace, so much so that it's the lowest amount of silver in the LBMA vault since they started recording amounts of silver in the vault.
So right now we're experiencing the lowest amount of silver available globally, worldwide. The lowest amount that's available.
Less than, I believe, 10,000 tons of silver in the LBMA vaults that do not belong to the ETFs. Maybe even more startling than that is the long position on COMEX by the commercial banks, something I've never seen before. The commercial banks are net long right now in silver, and they've hoodwinked the managed money into going net short. So when you see the massive drawdowns on the LBMA, the massive drawdowns on the COMEX, where you're seeing in terms of gold drawdowns, look, a few weeks ago, 41% of all the gold kilo bars were drawn off the COMEX in one day. About 175 million ounces were pulled off the COMEX. And so, you know, you're looking at a situation where the biggest money in the world is draining the COMEX, is draining the LBMA. We've seen 100 million ounces backdoored in the last 4 months out of SLV by the authorized participants. And for the very first time I can remember, last I looked a few days ago, the commercial banks were long about 5,100 COMEX contracts over 25 million ounces. So from the top down, not only is metal being drained from the COMEXs, but you're seeing the most sophisticated investors in the world go net long in silver, which is something I haven't ever seen before. I think it portrays for much higher prices moving ahead, and probably tougher availability as the bars are being taken off of the exchange. Those bars are what actually makes the blanks that make the sovereign coins, which are getting harder to get too, especially since the Queen died, all of a sudden getting.
Now, I shared with you all last week that the Queen's death put a squeeze on the precious metal market. Gold and silver alike. You're hearing it again, right? It's getting harder to get, especially since the Queen died. Let me um, retrace that comment so you can see it. It's getting harder to get since the Queen died all of a sudden. This is why I've been telling people any silver that you get with the Queen's portrait on it is going to give you a high return, maybe 2x, 4x, 5x on your investment, maybe even 10x in the future. And I think it's going to be going into next year. And as with anything that you invest in, people, just know and understand that any investment takes a time frame of you just sitting and holding. This is why having cash flow is imperative. Of sitting and holding until you can sell. People expect, some people, not all, some people expect quick flips out of this, and they don't understand that investing for in the long game for the long term will set you free for the long term. Right? So let's play this. And then, we're going to switch the topics of silver. Again, the website, queenofcoinsilver.com, is strolling at the bottom.
All of a sudden getting even harder to get. And so, excuse me, anything that has her likeness on it, the Maple Leaf, the Britannia, and the Kangaroo primarily, immediately went up in price. And when we sell out of current stock, getting them will be uneconomical, in my opinion. And as a result, everything that has her likeness.
Okay, let's pause right there. Anything that has her likeness on it, Queen Elizabeth, whether you like her, love her, hate her, that's not the point. We're talking about millionaire moves. If you see the backdrop, millionaire money moves to make right now. He goes on to specify what silver.
Likeness on it, the Maple Leaf, the Britannia, and the Kangaroo primarily.
Said the Maple Leaf, the Britannia, the Kangaroo primarily went up in price because it had the Queen's portrait on it. Right? Any money right now with her portrait on it will soon stop the print. This is why this is more valuable. Whether you agree with her reign, which most people don't, but or whatever, I want to show you why the death is having the impact that it is on the global monetary system and how it's going to change the game forever. The game was already about to be changed anyway, from physical cash and currency to digital into the Fed coin, beginning with the first quarter of 2023.
Immediately went up in price, and when we sell out of current stock, getting them will be uneconomical, in my opinion. And as
Okay, my last time stop. He said, and when you sell out of the current stock, getting them at uneconomical price will not be an option, in his opinion. As a result, everything went up. The Krugerrand, let's go on. The Philharmonic, as an example.
As a result, everything else went up, the Krugerrand and the Philharmonic, as an example, because everything else is getting hard to get. So let's buy those. Those go up too. This shows the micro fragility of the market. And when I mean micro, I have long felt that from a macro perspective, getting product will ultimately be very difficult in this industry, because Rick Rule talks about 0.5% allocation to precious metals across the entire financial matrix.
So yes, in your financial matrix, if you have financial education and you have a high financial IQ, you understand the value of specifically silver, because silver has two natures. It has two use cases that's going to be used. Not only is it money in the Constitution, just like gold is, but it's going to be used for this financial reset, and it's going to be used for industrial use, electronic vehicles. Also, there's a big thing going on with lithium right now. Uh, this is why California is experiencing a lot of this problem. Any commodity, oil, right? Silver, copper, platinum, palladium, you're going to see them on demand, especially silver again for RFID chips, 5G Wi Fi. And these are things that people need to be educated on, because it is most people, for example, they think, oh, let me get these products that these millionaires have, like these permanent life insurance, like these cash value life insurance, like these IUL or these private reserve accounts. All of them are in the same category. But what you should study, or what I highly suggest people study, is study what made the rich rich, and not what they have once they become wealthy. See, you cannot get wealthy before you become rich first. And they had enough money to dump into these IUL accounts, cash value life insurance, private PRAs, right? To dump into them, so they don't have to wait for years and years to be able to take a loan out against them till their money builds up in value. And by the time they're able to take a loan out or a lien against that value or their life insurance, the cash that they're using has become so devalued, right? Since 1930s, right, cash has lost 2,000% of its purchasing power. So why not convert your cash into assets that's going to build you equity, not take you years before you get that cash or be able to take a lien against their policy. And now that cash is able to do less and less with it, right? And so, even though it takes time to build riches and wealth, it should not take you multiple amount of years. And this is what cryptocurrency and silver can do for you. It can, instead of your millionaire date becoming 7 to 8 years, it can short that by 50%, and now it can be 3 to 4 years. But some people want it to happen in 3 to 4 months. It's not going to happen in 3 to 4 months. Very well can happen in 3 to 4 years. So now, what's really going on in California, right? More lithium mining wells running dry in California, and um, the EV charging infrastructure. So California, they're pushing this energy crisis. You have to know the agenda. Lithium, a lot of lithium in California, a very rich state in that. Also, renewable energy, right? So a lot of things, Silicon Valley, right? So a lot of things that are causing the environmental issues in California to make it more renewable energy friendly, right? To move towards their agenda of Fed coin, central bank's digital currency, and cryptocurrency movement as well. So with this going on with the wildfires, also with the lithium, if you don't know why Russia went into the UK, I won't get it. Well, I will. I tell you, because the United States have a lot of uranium. I mean, the UK, not United States, a lot of uranium in that soil and that land. This is why China began years ago collaborating with Africa, because of its rich resources in that area. So now the gas prices, right, is nearly $2 more in California than the national average. This is September 23rd, right? The country's priciest place to fill up your gas tank. Um, and then also remember the California gold rush. So California is very rich in natural resources and commodities. We don't want to drive those lower income persons out, right? make it just totally too expensive for them to live in California. So as gas prices have plummeted around the nation in the recent weeks, California's prices at the pump is increasing, rebounding, and it stays with a vengeance to an average of 5.58 a gallon. Last weekend, I was in Nevada and Las Vegas, and their gas was a little bit over $5 a gallon. People, that's $1.89 more than a national average. We see the double 22. That's the highest price gap in at least 22 years. Now, people might say, "Oh, glad I'm so glad I don't live in California." Uh, but what happens in California and New York will eventually reach the other 48 states in the United States, right? The average prices in the Bay Area, even higher if you're in San Francisco, San Fran in California, where it's closing into $6 a gallon. So it usually happens in California, New York, those states first, and then it comes and it happens in the other 48 states. This is why I'm telling people to uh, increase your cash flow. Increase your cash flow. Now, most people don't know you can do this by texting cash flow to the number screen on the screen. If you want to see if you qualify for an instant pay raise every month, starting with your very next paycheck, right? Um, I can show you how to do that and show you how you can qualify. My CPA, for example, just got one of my business partners a pay raise for $714 every month. And my CPA said he could do it for about 70% of people who have a job or with a job, right? So text me cash flow ASAP. That also helps increase your credit score. Even if you're a 1099 income earner and maybe you don't have the W-4, or the traditional paycheck, then you still can get the additional tax deduction that can give you thousands back. I know a business partner that has three traditional businesses, right? Two LLCs and an S corporation, and has six figures of tax credits, tax money shifted back to him because he added the home based business to his traditional business model. So you can earn up to an extra $1,000 a month of residual income with digital assets and digital business systems, right? And have more money to multiply and invest. So you're not sweating your investments. So you can then 2x, 3x, 5x, or 10x. So you're not just like, oh my God, I hope crypto does this. If crypto doesn't do this, if crypto doesn't pump by this date, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm pay my bills. I don't know how I'm gonna make groceries. No, you don't want to be in that predicament. You want to have the cash flow. Thank you so much, Jessica. Says, give me the thumbs up. Yes, please do that. YouTube, that helps the algorithm tremendously. So give the thumbs up. So you can really sit on this long enough to become rich and wealthy. So you can sit on this long enough, right? So you can become rich and wealthy because we know how volatile cryptocurrency is right now. Even though President Biden, and you can earn residual income not only through your silver investing. Some people like those tangible. I like the best of both worlds, right? Some people just like tangible investments in silver. I like to pay taxes like the rich people pay taxes. And the only way, let me say that again. I like, no, I love to pay taxes like rich people pay taxes. Why not if you're on the pathway to becoming rich? I already get that foundation. The biggest stealer of wealth is taxes. Also, I need to include in here, I may need to change the title of this live stream because I am going to talk about cryptocurrency as well. So I'll change the title. But if you are a Doge investor, it says your wish for better days has been granted. This was published 1 hour ago. Oh, I gotta call my aunt and wish her a happy birthday. Her birthday is today. I just saw September 24th. I don't know if she gonna watch it, but happy birthday to you, auntie. She probably somewhere celebrating. Shiba Inu is up 9%. Uh, XRP is up 8.43%. But what's the big news for Doge investors? I'm glad you asked. People right now, cryptocurrency and silver are the most inexpensive and assets that's going to be used for this reset in the world. That's going to be used and utilized. That's what you need to know at a high rate. Real estate, even though I can see the crash coming, it's still overpriced. Right, so Dogecoin is one of the most popular meme coins. Was recently back in the limelight as it registered promising gains over the last 7 days. Number 7 means the number of completion of both your spiritual and natural work. 6 days, God created things in nature, things in the natural. 7 day, He did the spiritual rest and reset. Add them together, it means a divine transition when you add the spiritual and the natural together, right? A divine transition. So promising gain in the last 7 days. Doge performance was just behind XRP as it grew by 5% in 24 hours. The present times, we see the 666, which is not bad. It's not a curse. I know you've been told that, but this it's not. And I could get into that, but I won't because I don't want to be on here that much longer, which is 9% 7-day increase. Interestingly, Doge has also made it to Lunar's crush list as a top 10 coins, right? You got XRP, Cake, Algorand, Doge, XLM, Sand. Got Baby Doge, Crow, Chronos, BNB, Binance, and ADA. Cardano has some great updates and changes as well. So as of right now, Lunar Crush says these are your top 3 coins, right? Top 3 coins. Everyone loves Doge, a major force driving behind this. Doge volume grew by people 220% in the last day. So I know for my Doge holders, you have been waiting for a long time. I want to share this with you all about a Phoenix group, but as I said, I believe you wait 3 to 4 years, you can have generational wealth and you can live your life like Dave Ramsey says, like no one else. Right? Without working the 2 jobs. However, I help you maximize the money that you're getting from a job, one job, right? That most people would have to work 2 jobs or maybe 3 jobs to get. Now, according to the Phoenix Group, September 24th, the Quack, the top BNB change product by social activity, got Quack. Let me see, can I enlarge this? Mr. Scrooge McDuck. How many of you all follow Scrooge or you know about Mr. Scrooge McDuck? Then you have Unicorn, Kiba, like a Sheba, but Kiba, Doge, Baby Doge, BD, AVAX, Cake, X. This is Safe Moon. I'm not really a fan of Safe Moon or a lot of the meme coins. I just, this is by social. This is people. This is only social engagement, right? Flocky and polka dot. I really invest in those cryptos that have real utility use cases. I don't really buy much into and gamble into the pump and dump and those meme coins or whatever, right? So that's it. Also, what's going on globally? I'm going to end with this. I'm listening to this YouTuber, and he's going over great wealth of information I want to share with you all about bad things are happening overseas.
11, 112.
Give me a second. So we're going to end the live stream. Thank you all so much. Thank you for the love on all platforms, Facebook and YouTube. So you will know what's going on overseas. Again, this is Rosh Hashanah, right? I explained all at the beginning of the video. If you missed out, watch the beginning. And let me sip some water because my voice is getting parched. And let's listen to what bad things are happening overseas right now.
Right
Right
now, it's
now
sitting
it's
at
sitting at
113.
113.
So many people are eyeing this. But here's my thing. Here's my thoughts. You could chart the DXY all day long. You could look at all these levels and Elliott waves and Fibonacci levels and moving averages. You could chart DXY all day, every day. But it's not going to come down unless something happens with the foreign currencies that the dollar is weighted against. So, I've been covering a lot about what's going on overseas. A lot of you guys are watching from the UK. And just on Friday, I was talking about the British pound going down to about $1.11. And that's already a 30-year low. I checked today, it's even worse. 109. We're talking about getting to basically parity maybe by the end of this week. So that's a absolutely huge collapse, and you can see over one day, it's a huge collapse. Currencies are not supposed to be moving this much, this fast within such a short amount of time. And that is because no one liked the new tax cut plan that was released on Friday, where the government actually came out and said, well, first of all, the central bank, the Bank of England, came out and said, well, we're going to be more dovish. The expected rate hike was lower than expectations. And then the government came out and said, well, we are going to have a lot of tax cuts too. So then economists and traders are thinking, okay, won't these things make inflation worse? First of all, the rates were not increased as much as they should have. And second of all, now that you have tax cuts, where's the money coming from? Then does that mean that there's going to be more borrowing? And the answer is yes. So people are not happy about this. And that is why the British pound, the sterling is crashing. And it's at the lowest level since 1985. So not good at all. But it's not just the UK, the entire Eurozone, the euro collapsed even more. Now the euro is less than a dollar, 0.97. 1 euro equals 0.97 dollar. And this is mostly because of what's going on in Germany. The euro very heavily dependent on Germany and their economy. And their economy is not doing well right now because of the whole situation with Russia, with war, and everything else that's going on. So the euro is also collapsing. But let's not forget Japan, too. Japan is the only country in the world right now where they still maintain a negative interest rate, despite the fact they have horrible inflation along with everyone else. It's gotten so bad that they had to intervene the first time since 1998 because the Japanese yen is absolutely collapsing, even more so than.
So, do you all see how physical currency is collapsing globally around the world and overseas? And it's going to happen to the US dollar. And this is why tangible money, real money, of having silver. And I keep saying silver because right now gold is about, 17, $1,800 an ounce. Most middle class or working class Americans cannot afford to get 1 ounce of gold. But at $30 an ounce for silver, especially with the Queen Elizabeth's portrait on it, is going to give you high returns on your investment, right? And as I was, explaining to people, once this Queen Elizabeth coin silver is not being, her picture or portrait is not being, people are just going to lose out. It's not going to be long before you're not going to be able to get the Queen Elizabeth silver with her portrait on. I promise you that. Right. So let's go back to this. And
The
the
sterling
sterling.
or the euro. And this is the reason why the DXY, the dollar strength, continues to go up because what's happening overseas is bad. It's very bad. It's way worse than what we're experiencing in the US. We may be complaining about Powell. We may be complaining about how he's so hawkish and how the Fed keeps raising rates. But if you're looking at what other countries are doing, which is taking a more dovish stand, they are actually making things worse right now. And that's the reason why the DXY is so strong. But what does that mean? With DXY so high, with the strength of the dollar so strong, with yields on treasury notes and bonds so sky high, what does that mean? How should we prepare? Well, near term, these things are not going to lead to good things. When everyone is putting their money into the dollar and treasury notes, that's where the money sits. Worldwide, everyone is putting their money into the US treasury notes and bonds because it's like the surest thing to protect wealth during the short-term period. But let me remind you guys and give you an alternative, and that is Bitcoin. Rather than try to put it into treasury notes and bonds, you may want to look at Bitcoin, and most of you guys already do, but look at Bitcoin's inflation rate. Unlike the inflation rate of the US, which is at 8.2%, unlike the inflation rate of the UK is at 9.9%, unlike the inflation rate of the Eurozone, which is 9.6%, and the inflation rate of other countries around the world, which are in double digits and higher. Bitcoin's inflation rate is only around 1.71 right now. And that 1.71 will get cut in half to 0.86 by 2024, and it keeps getting cut in half because that is what the halving event does, and it's programmed. We know it's coming. It doesn't change its date. It's not like anyone can flip a switch and say, okay, let's just increase the inflation by 5% this year. No, it can't happen. You don't have central banks or governments that can apply monetary policy or quantitative easing or tightening and all the other stuff that they do. Bitcoin is set, controlled by code, controlled by the people, non-sovereign. You don't have to worry about leaders or incompetent decisions. This is why I do believe more and more people need to understand what Bitcoin is all about. There's so many aspects to Bitcoin that people don't quite understand. And if you do understand, then you realize, well, why would I not be holding on to Bitcoin? And here's another visual in terms of how many.
So just want to enlighten you about what's going on around the world with other currencies, why people are investing in Bitcoin, even if it shows you from 69K beginning of the year to now 19K. Bitcoin has a halving. That means it's going to shorten the availability, which means in about 2 years that you may not even be able to purchase Bitcoin or silver or gold, right? Other cryptocurrencies have halvings as well that will make them more valuable. See, unlike this cash, fiat currency, government's money, the more that's distributed, the more that's given out in universal basic income, stimulus, PPP loans, the less it's able to buy. The more it loses its purchasing power. This is why you want to convert your cash into assets, and you want assets that's going to skyrocket during the reset. Again, 2x, 3x, 5x, or some cases maybe 10x return. Now, if you've been following me, you know my scripture is Deuteronomy 1:11. Some people are even going to get 1,000x return, which is may the Lord thy God, the God of our ancestors, increase you 1,000 times more, right? One can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight, right? This is the importance of collaboration when it comes to getting group economics and getting wisdom. So even in the cash flow club, we have, or the millionaires roundtable, right? We have private meetings to teach people exclusive information behind the scenes that we don't discuss publicly. So test cash flow to get into that. Also visit the website Queen of Coin Silver so that you can earn residual income more of government's money if you choose to become a wealth ambassador, right? And not just a customer. as well as God's money, aka industrial money, constitutional money at the same time. Thank you so much, Ezra. Appreciate those comments. I love your avatar picture as well. And you all, as if we was at the Baptist church, they would say, continue to pray my strength in the Lord, even though I don't think most people know the difference between Jesus, Lord, God, and Christ, but continue to pray for my strength. Because live streaming and putting all of this together, see, this is why most YouTube channels just talk about silver, or they just talk about cryptocurrency, or they just talk about cash flow, or they just talk about credit. To put all of this under one umbrella and reach in different sources, right? To reach people, whether they are with my person that just came in, XRP Army, or Doge Army, or Shiba Inu Army, or Silver Stackers, or Cash Flow Club, residual income earners, to reach people from all points of perspective, it takes energy. It takes energy, right? And so thank you all. Every time you comment, every time you give positive words, positive energy, positive vibration, positive frequency, it helps me to want to give you all more, right? To whom much is given, much is required. So thank you all so much. And don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure that subscribe is in the gray. Again, SRP and Dogecoin made big gains this week as well. Shiba Inu is pumping as well. So for all my Doge, Shiba Inu, even my Bitcoin billionaires, Ethereum, investors, those that are in the blue chip cryptocurrencies, those that silver stacking and in residual income, congratulations on your gains this week. More prosperous gains return, right? Let me know what city or state you're dropping in from. If you're watching this on a replay, again, hit that subscribe button. Make sure that it's gray. And if you see anything in the comment section that's asking you to send me Bitcoin or anything through WhatsApp, you can cash out me Bitcoin if you want to. But I do not have a WhatsApp account. I will never leave a comment telling you to send me any type of BTC or anything. That's spam. And it's very hard to get rid of. They create new accounts on YouTube. So, most YouTubers just let their followers know. And most people by now know that it's just spam, right? So be aware of that in the comment section and be action oriented if you want to multiply your money like Matthew 25 and get your cash flow and credit up. So you're not sweating over your investments. You're sitting back and you're waiting because Matthew 25 says over a long period of time, right? The master return. So if you really want to be rich without, if you want to, want to know what it's like to have freedom and buy your time back and to travel the world, to pass on generational wealth, it all starts with the first step and being action minded. Do not talk yourself out of investing in yourself, for yourself, and for your future, and for some people, for their family as well. Thank you again, you all. Queen out.